Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Over 12,000 new XRP accounts were created in a single day very recently, and I'm going to give you some perspective on just how outrageous that is compared to where we were even just a year ago. It's just spoiler alert, like it's not even close. It's absolutely not even close. And this is in conjunction with another very interesting metrics worth tracking. Here's a headline from the Daily Hodl. Crypto whales moving millions in XRP as Google searches for crypto asset explode to all-time high. Yes, even past what was searched for in 2017 when XRP ran from 20-something cents up to almost $4 here. Now, I do want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast in this space, and I run this channel purely as a hobby. That is all that it is. But I very much appreciate the support. I have a blast running this thing every day. But let's go ahead and start with this biggest number. I don't want to tease you guys about it. It is a massive number, and there's some things to say about it. The new account activations. Let me scroll down. Here it is right here. This chart is showing you basically the last month. The last full day of data was February 6th, so that's what we've got here anyway. And you can see on February 1st, there were 12,632 accounts created. Now, in part, that's not surprising because that's when the pump that was supposed to happen on February 1st. I'm sure many of you are aware of this. There's an organized group that was trying to pump XRP up at a specific time on that date, and they failed. What actually happened was people were aware that a bunch of people are going to try and start buying at that point in time, and upon that news, people started purchasing XRP prior to that point. Not surprising, right? And so just a couple hours before the pump group was supposed to start purchasing the pump, just a couple hours before, you started to see some, a major tanking in the price of XRP. So it was just another situation of buy the rumor, sell the news. And so people got burnt. And that's why I was urging caution. Like, well, I'll never tell somebody to buy or sell or hold anything. I was just cautioning that in my experience, when there are these pump and dump groups, a ton of people end up getting burnt. And I think I know a ton of people did get burned. I'm engaged enough on social media within the XRP community to be well aware that there are a bunch of people that did get burnt because of that. And that's why I was just trying to warn, make your own decision, but just be aware that historically a lot of people just don't do well in these types of situations. But even so, it's worth noting that look at what happened in the days after this. Like, let me share this first, actually. In early January and even February, really, let's just say the first part of 2020, a year ago, it was normal to have new account creations on the XRP ledger. It would vary a bit, fine, but maybe there'd be 300 on this day, 500 that day, 400 the next day, 600 the next day. So it was in the range of X number of hundreds, but that was by and large it, unless there was a more extreme outlier, which wasn't that common. And so that's what you're working with, a few hundred accounts, several hundred accounts per day getting created. And look at what you've seen even after this failed pump and dump attempt. Look at this. On February 2nd, 4,351 accounts created, 3,643 accounts the next day, 4,052 the next day, that's February 4th. On the 5th, 3,683, and on the 6th, it's 3,490. And so it's worth pointing out that the longer things consolidate in the world of crypto, this is my humble opinion, and I think there's a lot of truth to this, the longer a crypto trades sideways, the more explosive its price action is when it finally goes. And that's certainly been the case with XRP. You can think about how it traded sideways from May until December of 2017. And so many people were just poking it with a stick. Come on, do something, go up in price. And I'm just like, damn. Chill, like you have to be patient with these things. That's how I feel. But then it did go, and when it went, it ended up being among the best performing cryptos for that entire market cycle. It increased by whatever the percentage was, it was like 60 or 70,000% from the bottom to the top of the market cycle. It was just insane, and it traded sideways longer, and then there was all that built up pressure. A bunch of people were getting in that were just going to be long regardless, and then they held. And so there are all sorts of people continuing to come into the space with the intention of, well, certainly not losing money, even at these prices. Think about it. Out of all the large cap cryptocurrencies, what is the most suppressed in terms of price action? Well, I would certainly argue it's XRP because the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. That's that judicial action, legal action. It's pending, but it's going to be hitting soon. And so I think everybody that wanted out is out, and XRP's back to moving in tandem with the market here, but. It's just neat to see that despite all of this, especially with XRP being truly global and only about 10% of volume was coming out of the United States anyway, this is a truly global thing. And the reason XRP got up to almost $4 last market cycle is because of primarily everybody else outside of the United States that ended up bidding the price up ultimately. That's how this happened. And so it's just exciting to see this many people coming in on a daily basis, substantially higher than what you certainly would have expected even just a year ago. I mean, that certainly says something. And also, and I've shared this in recent videos as well, there's certainly a bunch of evidence that in the lower 30-cent region, there are a bunch of people with deep pockets, whether they're institutional purchasers or just wealthy individuals, but they came up, once the price dipped down to the lower 30-cent region, they recently popped on in there, and they have some long positions, it looks like. And I think that's probably in part why you've seen what you've seen of late. Now, also in a very recent video, I shared this and I want to highlight it. This is from chart analyst Credible Crypto, who wrote, RIP to those who think XRP will not pump because it's been delisted from the US exchanges, LOL. And what he talked about here was part of what's covered in this article. So I'll just jump into this now, but check it out. From the Daily Hodl, crypto whales moving millions in XRP as Google searches for crypto asset explode to all-time high. Large investors are transferring XRP worth tens of millions of dollars as online search interest in the crypto asset explodes. In a series of tweets, the blockchain monitoring tool known as Whale Alert reports that high-stakes crypto whales moved a total of, and I'll round the number here, 119 million XRP worth over $47.8 million in 7 transactions. One of the biggest transactions witnessed the shifting of $27.6 million worth of, so that'd be 10.6 million from crypto exchange Kraken to a wallet of unknown origins. And in another transfer, a whale moved 27.1 million XRP worth $11.8 million. And so there's all sorts of XRP going all over the place, and it is the case that frequently a lot of these bigger numbers that you see, it's actually just cryptocurrency exchanges. And what I don't know, you never know exactly what the internal reasons are, but it's almost always something to do with some sort of security reason, shuffling for this or that, just to optimize for who knows what. But that's typically what it is. And you can see, because even when there's these stories from unknown wallet to Coinbase or Kraken or pick your exchange, if you dig further, you can see that the unknown wallet was actually, for instance, I had a story like this recently where people are reporting that there's an unknown wallet transferring, I can't remember if it was like 49 million XRP to Coinbase. And then you just go to BitHump and look it up, and you're just like, oh no, it's actually a Coinbase wallet moving to another Coinbase wallet. So it doesn't move anything. As far as the rationale, probably something security related, but whatever. But this part's actually more interesting to me. Take a look. The XRP whale activity comes as interest in the 4th largest crypto asset explodes to a fresh all-time high. Google Trends shows surging interest in the search term XRP over the last 2 weeks, from a low of 26 to an estimated 100, eclipsing the previous high of 76 recorded in December of 2017. And how about that? Hotspots around the world with the most XRP searches are Slovenia, Ireland, Australia, the Netherlands, and Singapore. And so this is why I was making the point a moment ago that this is truly global. Even if you're in the United States, and a little over half of my audience is in the United States, it's going to be everybody else the world over, speculating on XRP that will push the price up if indeed it's going to go up. That's where most of it's going to come from. And that was the case last market cycle too, and it got to almost $4. And Coinbase didn't have XRP listed back then. There were only a handful of exchanges back then that were trading XRP. And so you see all these crypto whales coming in with long positions. You see, search activity increasing here. You've seen recently at certain times some very interesting even volume activity with XRP, although admittedly a lot of that most recently had to do with the pump. But it just seems to me that there are some people that are truly thinking long term here, and I personally believe strongly that XRP will continue to move with the market. And so even if XRP is among the last cryptocurrencies to pump, as was the case last market cycle, I'm going to keep holding because I believe that it's going to come even without sufficient regulatory clarity. And so, given that I personally believe that's the case even without that, holy hell, can you imagine if Ripple does settle with the SEC? Because that's still a possibility. That's in the cards, perhaps. If that happens, I think you're going to see some immediate fireworks the moment that news breaks. Because again, the price to me, it just seems artificially suppressed. So I don't know for sure. It's not financial advice, but that's the way that I'm looking at it. And so to me, as an XRP holder, like what I'm tracking here, all of this stuff looks good. And yes, I'll continue to admit it's more risky to hold XRP because of what's happening with the SEC, but it does nothing to sway my conviction because for me, I'm making this decision. It's not an emotional decision. It's a calculated risk, and it is a risk, but it's a calculated one. And it's one where if I weren't taking it, I would have trouble sleeping. Like if I say I sold all of my XRP now, I would have trouble sleeping at night because I suspect this is going to go to the positive. And so while other people had the exact opposite reaction, were like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid XRP is going to zero, and they panic sold. Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. And I don't disparage anybody that did choose to eliminate or reduce their XRP holdings. I'm always going to say that too. Like I respect you, I get it. It is more risky. But that's just not the way that I'm looking at this. I'm making a calculated risk. It's a decision, but it's based on as much data as I can actually accumulate and just how I've seen people behave in the cryptocurrency asset class for the over 3 years that I've been here monitoring on a daily basis. And it is a fun ride. I'm an optimist here. I will say that. And that's why I've continued to diversify into other cryptocurrencies, especially lately, get myself positioned. And I'm not purchasing any cryptocurrencies that are pumping or have pumped. I'm just buying cryptocurrencies right now that just trading sideways, the ones that people aren't interested in. Because by the time people are interested in them, that's an indication it's probably too late. And I don't want to play that game, so I won't ever chase a green candle. But I will wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.